Greetings, friends. It's Pat at Dancing Moon Travel with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. And I am really delighted this evening to bring one of the most iconic brands in the cruise industry on to visit with us and update us on what's going on at Royal Caribbean. I have Abby Cauff-Brown, the National Account Manager at Royal Caribbean, coming on board with us. But before I bring her on board, I want to just whet your appetites. I have a little video clip here of their brand new ship, Odyssey of the Seas. Get ready, fasten your seatbelts, folks. This is a fabulous, fabulous ship. You're going to love this. Wow, and what a way to bring you on board. That one, Abby. I mean, talk about wow factor, huh?
Yeah. It's a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous ship, I have to say.
Okay. We're going to go there in a little while, but before we go there, I always like to start off with just letting our people get acquainted a little bit with you. Some of our regulars may know you from watching some of our previous interviews, but we have, I hope, a lot of new people on board here. Tell us a little bit about how you made your way into the travel industry and found your way to Royal Caribbean.
Sure. So I've been in the travel sector right out of college. I started in the hotel business. I'm kind of a little planes, trains, and automobiles kind of story. I started in hospitality in hotels, and then I transitioned over into private jets, and then I worked with large special events. And growing up here in South Florida, I've always known about the cruise industry, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I ended up at Royal Caribbean, and I've been here now for 13 years.
Wow. And you know, when you think about hotels or the cruise industry, boy, there wouldn't be any contest for me. I'd want to be involved in the cruise industry as well.
I agree.
And about the cruise lines, each cruise line has kind of their own lane in the industry, and they, for the most part, don't try to be all things to all people. Right. Although Royal Caribbean, let's admit, has an incredibly broad appeal and really does have something for everybody. But what are the hallmarks of the Royal Caribbean brand, and who are your ideal passengers?
You know, it's a really great question, Pat, because I think that people get this sometimes misconceptions of us. You know, yes, there's no question we are a family brand. We absolutely have so many wonderful features and things that cater to children. And, you know, we just love that kind of market segment on board our ships. But we're also generational cruisers where you could have the grandparents and the parents and the kids. You can have, I mean, I have girls going on a bachelorette weekend. I have seniors that, you know, want to go on to, you know, in December, and they see all of the different shows that we have. So I think we really have a very large net that we cast out there as far as who our customer is.
I totally agree on that point.
Yeah. And I think that some of the things that are hallmark to our brand, one I would say is the actual hardware itself, right? Like, we're constantly investing in our product to try and make sure that we have the latest, greatest, coolest stuff on board our ships. One of those things being a culinary experience, another one of those being an activity and entertainment experience. So I think that those are things that really set Royal Caribbean apart.
Okay, very, very good. And Abby, I think a lot of times when people think of Royal Caribbean, the first thing that pops in mind are your mega ships.
Correct, right.
I mean, you guys are known for having the biggest ships at sea. But you actually have one of the most varied fleets, I think, in the entire industry. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that, even though that we are known for these big ships, we don't go out there saying we want to make the biggest ships in the world. We really just want to offer such amazing things to our guests. And so sometimes that just comes along with bigger ships. Um, but we have all different classes of ships. And even on our big ships, you can have a small suite, small ship experience. So you can stay in one of our suites, go to our specialty restaurants, see amazing shows, and have a small, intimate experience and not feel like you are on this massive big ship. But we also have, Voyager class, Freedom class, Odyssey class, Quantum class, all different classes of ships. Oasis class ships can't get into every single port around the globe. They're too large for that. So we've got all different types of ships there. You would see, I think that's a Freedom class or Voyager class ship. I can't
No,
see the name of which
I
one
think
that
this
is.
is a Radiance class.
No,
Okay.
that's a Radiance. No, I don't think.
Okay. Not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think that's a
It's too
Voyager
big.
class or Freedom class. Radiance class and Vision class are some smaller classes that we have. They go through some of the destinations like in Europe or in Alaska where, we have some, you can't get the larger ships in there. So we have all different kinds of classes of ships.
I love that. And I had, we I have come to appreciate some of those older, smaller ships,
Mhm.
and I enjoy sailing on those sometimes. I love the big ships, but I really love the smaller, more intimate feel ships. And you guys, I mean, just because the ship is older, you guys do an incredible job of maintaining those ships. They never feel old when you get on board.
Absolutely. Yeah, we invest constantly in our brand. Um, with all of our Voyager class and Freedom class ships, we did what we call an amplification, and we went ahead and spent about $200 million on each one of those ships to go ahead and make sure that they were up to speed with all the latest, coolest stuff.
That is just so evident when you step on board. We actually, Abby, we have coming up on the 12th of March. My husband and I are going to be aboard Jewel of the
Oh,
Seas.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, and going to sail on that ship for an 8-night cruise. We're really looking forward to that. Uh, we did our Panama Canal cruise some years ago on a sister ship, Brilliance of the Seas,
Hmm.
and it was fabulous. Of course, back then it was a newer ship,
Right.
and was kind of cutting edge, and now, of course, we've gone to the Freedom class and the
Uh-huh.
Oasis
Yeah.
class and the Quantum class and all of those things. So it's now one of your smaller ships, but
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
they
It's
are
our
still
baby.
they are fabulous. And May 8th, we're sailing on Allure of the Seas.
Oh, wonderful. So you'll get both.
So we're going to have, one of the biggest ships and one of the smaller, more intimate ships. And I don't know which I'm looking to forward to the most because they're each very special in their own
I agree.
particular way.
I
Uh,
agree.
what can you do? What are some of the things that if I boarded let's say one of the Freedom or Oasis class ships, and what kind of activities are some of the things that we can look forward to doing on? Uh, Now, somebody younger than me perhaps might look forward to.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you'd be surprised. There's all kinds of fun things on there. Well, one of the things also to keep in mind with Royal Caribbean is, we have so many different activities. We go from miniature golf to surfing to zip lining to rock climbing to ice skating to laser tag. There's ping pong, there's pickleball, there's all kinds of cool experiences on board the ship. And so I just really think there's water slides, dry slides. So I think it's about as much as active as you want to be. But I'll tell you, I just had a fabulous experience when I was on board, uh, and we went on the Mariner. and we went and did an escape room. And I got to tell you, that didn't take any physical exertion, but boy, did it take some mental exertion. I couldn't figure out how to get out of this escape room for anything. So it was a very fun experience to go ahead and do that as well. So I think that it really depends on what you're looking to do, and there's just so much for everybody.
There are so many and you guys are known for your entertainment as far as your shows and
Mhm.
things like that, and just being your theater shows and your comedy and all of those things. The onboard entertainment, you don't have to be terribly active. You have some more sedate activities. Anybody can sit on the carousel,
Exactly.
and lots for everybody to do. How about dining on board Royal Caribbean?
So, we have a couple different options. So, we have something called My Time Dining, which is where you can select what time and when you want to go to the dining room. You're not necessarily getting the same waiter or the same table every night. And then we have traditional dining, which is the traditional cruise dining, where you sit at the same table with the same people with the same waiter every night. And then we have all kinds of complimentary options around the ship, as well as all kinds of specialty options around the ship. So we really want there to be something for everyone. There's a ton of complimentary experiences. So, I think that sometimes people get a little bit put back when they see some of these surcharges for restaurants. But it's choice, right? It's giving everybody a choice. So if you want to go pay for Starbucks coffee for specialty ice cream, you can. If not, you can get coffee for free on board the ship, and you can get soft serve in the pool deck. So we try and give you the choice. You're going to be able to get a steak complimentary on board the ship, but if you want to go to our specialty chops restaurant and pay for that experience, you can do so as well.
There are so many options. And I find that sometimes our clients get a little bit confused and don't realize that the main dining room is complimentary on
Absolutely.
all of the ships. You go in and sit down with table service and waiters and wonderful dining in multi-course dining
Mhm. Mhm.
with first class service, and it is fabulous,
It is.
and
It's
it's
a wonderful.
included. You don't pay extra to go to the main dining room, folks. It is included, and you will feel like you've been out to a fine restaurant in your hometown when you go to the main dining room on board one of the Royal Caribbean ships. I guarantee it. Many choices. It is varied, and you have the buffet, of
The
course,
Windjammer, yes,
and
absolutely.
I
I
mean
think
the
one of the things people don't know on an Oasis class ship, you can have breakfast in the Solarium complimentary, in Johnny Rockets complimentary, in the Windjammer complimentary, in room service complimentary, in the dining room complimentary. There's so many different venues to be able to go and get a bite to eat, and people aren't aware that there's all these different places on
Right.
board ship.
So you could choose to go to the steakhouse or one of the other premium restaurants
Mhm.
and pay the small additional fee. Uh, but you can eat very, very well and very upscale meals without paying a dime extra to do so. So, Abby, just you personally, just wonder, uh, have you personally sailed on a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships? Do you have a favorite?
I have been on quite a bit, I will say. I had the pleasure of doing Alaska, which was wonderful. I had the pleasure of doing the Western Med out of
Mm.
Barcelona. I've had the pleasure of doing Canada, New England. Obviously, I've been to the Caribbean many, many, many times. So I've really had the chance to do some really wonderful itineraries. Um, I think, I get asked this, what is my favorite ship? For some reason, and I can't tell you why. I love the allure of the seas. I just don't know what it is, but for me, that ship just feels like, what I enjoy. So I just think that's my favorite ship, if I had to
Well,
say.
I'm glad to hear that since we feel the same way. And we're actually taking some family members on that one Abby, that have never cruised before.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
And so they are going to be, I said, talk about wow factor for a first cruise. They are going to be blown
Absolutely.
away.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. You guys also have a private island experience that's pretty special.
Yes. Yes, Coco Cay. So perfect day, Coco Cay. So Coco Cay is an island that we've owned for many, many years, over 30 years. And it used to be an island that we had to tender to, and it was a beautiful, beautiful area, but didn't have all the bells and whistles, so to speak. So we did, prior to the pandemic, we did an investment in the island where we spent about $200 million. We built a dock and we created the perfect day. And what it is half of the island is a thrill and half of the island is a chill. So we have all kinds of water slides, we have zip lining, a wave pool, all kinds of fun activities on board, on the island. But then if you just want to get off and get a lounge chair and get an umbrella and go to the beach, you can, or go to the pool. We have a freshwater pool. All of that's available for you there as well.
I just happen to have a little video
Oh,
clip here.
good.
Let's just
Okay.
let our viewers get a little glimpse of Coco Cay. Wow. I picked a short video because we have time constraints here on these broadcasts, but there is so much to do.
It's a
at Coco.
fabulous day. I mean, there's just anything and everything. And the thing that people don't realize is when you're on a cruise and you go to the Caribbean, you have to take a taxi to a beach, pay to get into a beach, pay for a lounge chair, pay for an umbrella, pay for your food, pay to get back to the ship. When you're in Coco Cay, all of that's complimentary.
Isn't that just so? And my clients, I'm telling you, Abby, they rave about Coco Cay. It's something
It's
that
special. It's
they
special.
really they look forward to. And I have some clients that absolutely cruise nothing but Royal Caribbean mega ships. They don't want on anything. And my husband. Now we are not youngsters anymore, but my husband's favorite ships are Royal Caribbean's. The bigger ships, the better. Freedom and Above are his favorite. He just loves the big ships. So you don't think that because you're not a family that there's not a place for you on board Royal Caribbean's big ships, because there's something for everybody, literally for everybody. What about timing of a cruise, Abby? What would you say are the best times to cruise? Is there a time when people can snag a real bargain? What do you think?
So I would say that, obviously cruising really depends upon the schedule of your own personal family or your own travel group. If you're going with kids, obviously your family's generational, you have to work around the school holidays. But from a pricing perspective, I think that your best pricing options tend to be in May, right after Easter, before the kids get out of school, tend to be in September, as that window tends to be a good time as well. And then after the Christmas holidays, I'd say that those first couple weeks of January after New Year's, 1 or 2 weeks in there, you can sometimes snag some good deals as well.
Very good. Very good. And what do you have any packing tips? What should people be sure to bring, and what can they leave at home when they sail?
Well, they can leave their blow dryer at home because we do have them on board. So that's one thing. I think that one of the things I nowadays with technology, we all have our tablets or our phones or all of that kind of stuff. Everything needs a plug. So I think that one of the cool things I have is I bought it on Amazon, and it's basically a little bit uh, plug that you can plug in that allows you to put in multiple USBs and multiple, so I can do my hair dryer, charge my phone, have my whatever it is I'm needing to do all at the same time. So that's one of my little things that I love to bring with me when I'm on board. But I think really it's a casual experience on board. We really, obviously we do have nights that are dressier, but you don't need a tuxedo or anything like that on board Royal Caribbean.
Yeah. You could I think people are tending to go a little more casual even on the elegant nights these
Absolutely.
days. Pair ladies, a pair of black slacks
Absolutely.
could take you to dinner any night. Just add a little more bling on that elegant night. Have a top with a few sparkles on it, and you are good to go. Um,
Absolutely.
Okay, Abby, there's a lot going on with the pandemic situation,
Mhm.
evolving, and I think finally we're really got some traction and moving in the right direction. What information and insights could you share with our listeners tonight about your protocols and where they are and where they're going?
Okay. So, at the current moment, and keep in mind, as soon as I say this, it could change because things are constantly evolving. But at this moment, right now, we require all children above the age of 12 to be vaccinated. We are recommending the children between the ages of 5 and 11 to get vaccinated. Our numbers are showing that about 70% of those children are vaccinated, although we are not requiring it. We are still requiring testing for everybody to get on board the ship 48 hours prior to arriving on board, and they need to have a either PCR test or a proctored antigen test. So it's not just a regular antigen; it has to be proctored by somebody, and those results will be asked for when you board. We have, as of Friday, reduced the mask policy on board, so it is an optional thing if you would like to wear a mask. However, if those children are not vaccinated on board, they will need a mask, ages 2 to 11. We're not requiring the little ones to wear it. Anyone in Adventure Ocean will need to wear a mask, though. We are requiring that all the children, regardless of vaccination, wear the mask in Adventure Ocean at this time. So, all the ships will be back in the water by Q3, and we are still sailing at reduced occupancy. So I think the next big hurdles for us to overcome are getting all the ships in the water, getting back up to 100% occupancy, and then at some point, we will evaluate and continue to evaluate the other protocols.
Okay, but things are moving, and I for one, I'm going to tell you, I have cruised now 3 times since cruising opened up.
Good.
I have 3 more on coming up before the end of May, and folks, I am just telling you, um, I never feel any safer anywhere than I do on board a cruise ship because where else in the world do you go that everybody, virtually everybody around you is vaccinated and has just tested negative for the virus. So, I mean, really, it's just, it's like the safest, to me, the safest place that I can ever be these days is on board a cruise ship.
Absolutely.
Now, what have we missed, Abby? What would you like to share with our listeners about? Uh, one thing that just popped in my mind that I want to share, and I really love about Royal Caribbean is the family time dining. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but I love that family time dining. If you're Folks, if you have a family and you've got some kids, uh, they have the coolest thing where you can actually go to the main dining room, take your whole family. Tell us about that, Abby.
Yeah, so my type family is your children are enrolled in the Adventure Ocean program, and the parents are everyone sits down to eat at dinner and first seating, and the kids will get their entree, the parents will get their appetizer or salad, and then by the time the kids are done, they will then come and pick up the children in the dining room and take them to Adventure Ocean. At the moment with COVID, it's paused, but it will be coming back because it's a very popular program that we have. But I think one of the things that I'm most excited about this week is we're bringing out the Wonder of the Seas. Our
Yes.
brand new ship is coming out. She will be coming out, I think it's on Friday or no, Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is her first employee sailing. We have a 2 night sailing, and then she will start cruising next weekend to the public. So we're very excited that, in the middle of the pandemic, we've been able to have 2 brand new ships come out. So it's
That is
very exciting.
just Abby, I just have to give kudos to the cruise industry. Royal Caribbean has really been a leader. Your CEO really, I mean, he led the way. He kept in touch with us in the travel industry and
Absolutely.
really has been amazing. So we really appreciate what you have done through the industry. Thank you so much.
Well, we couldn't do it without travel partners either, because you guys have really been such a support to us and have really just done such amazing things for your customers.
Well, thank you again, Abby. We love Royal Caribbean. I cannot wait to sail in just a few days.
I'm excited for you.
Okay. And folks, we'll be posting about that. So stay tuned. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.